You are all welcome to today's live event themed Credit Scoring in Nigeria. Credit Scoring in Nigeria. Today we'll be considering an important topic, how to improve your credit score. How to improve your credit score. Okay, someone is telling me, can't hear me. Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me now, just say yes so that I will continue. Can you hear me? I just saw a message saying that you can't hear me. Hello? If you can hear me, just say yes. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, like I was saying, this is actually the third episode of this event. We have had series of the program. So if you are joining us for the first time, please do go through our timeline editions of this program. You can watch it via our Facebook page, also our YouTube channel. Please do ensure you follow us, like us on all our social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The handle is actually at FirstCentral NG. FirstCentral NG, to enable you get notifications of our program. Please, if you find this topic interesting, how to improve your credit scoring, you can add, you can share with your contact and invite them to join us on this live event. We'll also be entertaining questions. If you have any questions regarding credit-related issues, please do drop it at the comment section. At the end, we will attend to them all. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mary Ohalete Uwoma, and this program is brought to you by the Marketing and Business Development Team of FirstCentral Bureau. Last time when we were here, we talked about credit score, what you need to know. And my colleague did a very good job by trying to differentiate between credit score and credit reports. So if you were not part of that event, don't worry, I will try to summarize that topic so that we all will be on same page. So before I go fully into that, I would just like to start by setting this example. We are always particular or passionate about our kids. Say your child comes back from school at the end of the section and he comes back with his or her report booklet and gives it to you. The first section you go to is actually the score, where they wrote the score of the child. Say the child scores 480 over 500. Wow, what a nice score. The next thing you do is that you go through the details, what gave rise to the score. You want to see what gave rise to the score. There you will see what the child score in mathematics, English, economics, chemistry, and the likes of them. In fact, it will also show you the continuous assessment test and all that on it. Gave rise to the credit booklet. Your score, your score can be said to be the final score on that booklet. Okay, I hope my examples are very clear. Then the details to that score, which is mathematics, chemistry, and all the whole score that the child had on the report, is what we can refer to credit reports. So, to define credit report is a report that gives you detailed breakdown of your personal and credit information and in-depth details of your performance on your credit report, your present and past credit histories. Whenever you assess credit and it's reported to the bureau, it's being captured on your credit report. When you miss payment, it's also being captured on your credit report. So, and it also gives you your outstanding balance, your outstanding debt, the amount that is still outstanding is captured on your credit report. Your overdue amount, your days in arrears when you miss out payment, that is also captured in your credit report. Your demographic information. When I say demographic information, I'm talking about your date of birth, your BVN, your telephone number, your address, both present and past address history. You see that on your credit report, on your detailed credit report, your business affiliations, both corporate and individual. So that is what is captured in a credit report. So it's actually a comprehensive details about your financial dealings. So coming to scoring, the credit score is an overall assessment of your level of credit worthiness based on several factors, which include your repayment behavior, your repayment history. We can also say your credit score is a set of numbers used to represent your credit worthiness based on certain credit parameters that shows your potential, that shows how you will behave when you are being lent money to, or when you assess credit. So let me take that again. It is a set of numbers used in representing your credit worthiness based on certain parameters being considered. So having said that, credit score is extracted from your credit reports. Credit score is extracted from your credit score, meaning that you cannot have a bad credit report and expect a good score. It doesn't work that way. Neither can you have a good credit report and expect a bad credit report. Okay? So I hope my explanation regarding the score is clear. In fact, we all score in one way or the other. For example, you have a colleague or a friend that is a serial borrower that borrows and never pay you back. He comes in the morning, early morning to work. He says, I forget my ATM card at home. Could you please lend me 20K? And you give. I will give you back tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, no show. Next time, you go, my child is hospitalized. Can you please, just 100K. Please, because of your church heart, you decide to give. And at the end, you discover you've borrowed, the person borrowed and end up not giving you anything. Next time the person comes, what will happen? A default answer prepared already. You say, no, I don't have, even when you know you have. We all do that. Even when you know you have it. Why? Because the person has succeeded in building a negative trend, a negative pattern over time in your brain. So you end up scoring the person that, this person is not trustworthy. He's a high-risk person. So I don't want to give out my hard earnings to the person because my money will not come back. We also have people that comes to you. Before they say jack, you've already given them the money because you know that they will pay back, meaning that they've been able to build a trust level. So credit score is all about your trust level. So the credit score, the financial institution, the lenders could just look at your score and decide whether to give you credit or not. Like I said before, they are a set of numbers, set of digits ranging from 300 to 850. 300 to 850. The higher you score, the higher the score, the lower the risk of the customer. If you score low, that means you're a high-risk customer. So credit report and credit score are very, very important when you want to look out for credit or loan or any new line of credit. They are very, very important. Also note that credit report and credit score are all prepared by credit bureau. I hope that is clear. All right, let me go to the next on my list. How to obtain a credit report. Very, very simple. As we are talking, just visit FirstCentral site, www.firstcentralcreditbureau.com and order your credit report. There you'll be asked to fill in some personal information about you. Then it will verify and will return back to you with your credit report. It doesn't take time. Within an hour, you'll get your credit report. You can also send us a mail at sales@firstcentralcreditbureau.com. sales@firstcentralcreditbureau.com and request for your credit report. You can also do us a mail via info@firstcentralcreditbureau.com. In fact, even if you chat us via any of our social media handle, someone will respond to you immediately. Okay. How to find out your credit score? How to find out your credit score? Finding out your credit score is a very important step to taking control of your finances. It helps you to know how you look before lending institution, before you approach them. Knowing how you look before a lender helps you to take steps to improving your credit rating. Don't think that if you apply for credit and they turn you down, it's because you apply for credit, turn it down is because they don't like your name, or probably they don't like the part of the country you came from, or village people are after you. No. The thing is that all these lenders, especially online lenders, Carbon, Pay Letter, Fair Money, and all the Money Minute, and all of they are all our subscribers. So once you apply for credit, the first thing they do is that their API goes connected to our own API and run a check. Within seconds, your credit report or credit score comes up immediately. So they decide whether to give you the facility you are requesting for or to decline. So you can find out your credit report by going to our site, also checking out the reports available. Like this score we are talking about, we have a standalone score. We call it NICO score. NICO score. That's the Nigerian version of the FICO score. Then you can also see a credit report that comes with a score. That's score plus the credit report. We call it Consumer Detailed Credit Report. So if you visit the site, you see a lot of reports that you could order. In fact, we even give you the content of this report. Okay, that will help you to know how you look like before approaching any institution to ask for any form of credit. Then they will have credit scoring classification. There are classification on the credit score. FirstCentral credit score classification is in line with FICO scoring model. It is in line with FICO scoring model. Like I said earlier, your credit score ranges from 300 to 850. The higher the score, the lower the risk. Sorry, the higher the score, the higher you score, the lower the risk. Yeah, right. And the lower your score, the higher the risk you are. So, and the classification goes towards if you score between 300 to 629, it is rated as high risk. 300 to 629 is rated as high risk. Then if you score between 630 and 689, it is fair risk. Then scoring between 690 and 719 is rated as medium risk. Scoring between 720 and above, that's up to the 850, you are a low risk. And that's where we want every Nigerian to be. That's why we're making this awareness, so that we all get to know that this is with a top party called Credit Bureau. The Credit Bureau, and they have information. And before, anytime you want to access any form of credit anywhere, a background check is being done on you. That is why you need to be careful how you go about your financial dealings and matters. Okay. Then there are parameters being considered in scoring a customer. There are parameters being considered in scoring a customer, because I know you'll be wondering which one is high risk, which one is fair risk, which one is low risk. How did you come about it? There are parameters on a credit report that is being considered. The first one is the repayment history or repayment behavior of a customer. Repayment history of a customer. Second one is the total debt owed by the customer. The total debt owed by the customer. Then we have length of credit history. Length of credit history of the customer. The fourth one, total number of credits. That's the total number of credits you've ever accessed. Then we have the type of credit. That's the type of account. The type of account: personal account, overdraft, mortgage and all that, car loan and all that. So these are under the type of account. So out of these 5 parameters, there are parameters that are considered more important in scoring. They play a vital key in scoring, and they carry higher scoring rates. For example, the repayment history carries about 35% of the score. Repayment history, how you repay your loans, carries about 35% of the score. And total debt owed, that's the total amount you owe, also carries about 30%. Carries about 30% of the score. So these 2 parameters alone carries a high score. So that's why you need to be careful how you repay your loans or handle your credit matters. Note, not all accounts are qualified for scoring. Account of a deceased person is not qualified for scoring. Then accounts in operation less than 6 months is not matured for scoring. Accounts less than 6 months is not matured for scoring. By standard practice globally, it's rated as high risk. Why? Because there's actually no history. The person has not been able to build a history that the lenders could use as, okay, this is the history of the person, so this is how we can score the person. So if you have a poor credit score, or if you are rated as a high risk, there are a lot of negative, in fact, there are a lot of disadvantage by being a high risk customer. Why? One of it is that there is high probability that when you apply for loans, people won't even grant it to you. Lenders wouldn't grant it to you because it's a high risk. Even if they do, trust me, they will charge you a high interest rate. You'll be paying a high interest rate on that particular facility because they've seen that you're a high risk and they're taking risk. So they need to find a way to protect their capitals, because the most important thing to a lender is to protect his capital. Then the second disadvantage is that it lowers your chances of getting that rent application from landlords. We have landlords that are registered now, that before they give out their houses to you, they run a background check on you. Oh yes, now you know. They run a background check on you. So if you're a high risk, who wants to house someone that will end up not paying the rent or dragging the landlord to court and all the likes of it, okay? Then, thirdly, if for employment's sake, you might have issues getting employment because employers now carries a background check on their employees to know how exposed they are. So if you are a high risk, after going through the interviews and all that, you might be turned down simply because your credit report is saying that you are not trustworthy. Sorry. So that's how serious the matter is. That's why we decide to come out and make this awareness. In fact, some appointments now, some positions require that you tender your credit reports. I've seen cases where people said they lost out in some business deals because their credit reports was negative, or they failed to monitor their credits very, very well. Okay. The next thing I will be talking about is how to improve your credit report. How to improve your credit report. Improving your credit report is very, very important. We have talked about the disadvantages that come between for having a negative report. Please note there is still good news in case you generate your report now and see that you're a high risk, or you've been rated as a high risk, or you have missed out in so many payments. There's still good news. The thing is that this credit score is not static. It's not static. It's not just like that. It is, you are doomed, or it can't change. It changes. It can change over time. And you have a good credit score, or you're a low risk and you decide to, because I'm a low risk, I don't need to I don't need to do much things to improve on my reports, and you start defaulting. Over time, over a period of time, that low risk will graduate from low risk to fair risk, from fair risk to medium risk, from medium risk to high risk. Do you see how it works? Same way, someone that has a negative report, a negative score, can decide to, okay, let me do something. They seize this program. Okay, let me do something. Let me do something. They decide, I'm a high risk. They decide to start improving on their scores. They start repaying their loans as at when due, and then apply all the medication that we're going to prescribe here today. Before you know it, you can move from high risk to fair risk, medium risk, and become a low risk. Okay, so the first step to improving your credit score or your credit report is check your credit reports. Oh yes, check your credit report. Why do I say you should check your credit report? View your credit report. How can you treat an illness that you don't even know what the symptoms are? You can't do that. So how can you improve on something you don't even know how it look like, how you look like? You can't improve on it. So the first step to improving your credit score or credit report is to view your credit report. As we are talking now, visit the site www.FirstCentral Credit Bureau, and in fact, the news that we entitled to a free credit report once a year. So if you have not applied, just apply now and request for your free credit report. You'll be given a free credit report. That is how it works, not just for FirstCentral Credit Bureau, from any other licensed credit bureau in Nigeria. So that is first step of improving your credit score. The second step is settle your bills early. Brethren, this is the way of improving your credit score. Settle your bills early. Helps you to have a good credit score. If you remember when I was talking, I said that one of the parameters considered is your repayment history. If you also remember, I said that the repayment history takes about 35% of the score. So if you decide to start settling your credit history, or a credit report on time, or your bills on time, discover it can give you a 35% boost on your score. Yeah, that is how it works. It can give you 35% boost on your score. And if you're the type that easily forgets, if you're the type that easily forgets to pay when your loan is due and all that, you can set up an auto pay on your account, or there's something they usually call it auto pay on your on your account, or standing order. You can set up a standing order on your account so that once you get to that particular date, immediately you will get the system, that amount will particularly be deducted from your account, but ensure there is sufficient amount of money in your account to cover for this, for the outstanding debt. Okay. And the third is build your credit history. Like I said, one of the ways is to build your credit history. You cannot, some people don't even have a credit history. So it makes it difficult for lenders to assess who you are. So if you have not borrowed before, you can actually borrow within your capacity and be paying back as at when due, so that you'll be able to build a good credit history. Like I always tell our customers and people, borrowing is not bad. It's not bad. What is bad is borrowing and not paying back as at when due. That is what is bad. Okay? Then the fourth thing is to keep your credit utilization low. Keep your credit utilization low. What do I mean by that? Credit utilization is a percentage that you're allowed to use your credit limit or salary. You don't go borrow, too much borrowing that it becomes difficult for you to pay. By Nigerian law, it states that you should not borrow more than 40% of your earnings. You shouldn't use more than 40% of your earnings to service loans. It is not proper. So since you are allowed to borrow within 40% of your earnings, to keep your credit utilization low, it might just take 20% of your salary, or half of that 40%. That's 50% of that 40 that you're allowed to use. So in that way, you will be keeping your credit utilization low. I hope it is clear. All right. The fifth one is to check your credit report for errors. If you see any form of credit reports, any error on your credit report, please do file for disputes. File for a dispute and you'll be guided on how to clear that or how to correct that immediately. When I say for errors, possible your address has changed, you're no longer living where you were before, the telephone number was not captured properly, your maiden name had issues and all that. So you can always check it for errors and it will be corrected immediately. Okay? Then the sixth on the list is monitor your credit for fraudulent activities. I've seen cases where people run, they say, I never borrowed this money. I did never borrow this amount, simply because they failed to monitor your credit report or credit score. Maybe it's possible they misplaced their telephone, they misplaced their phone, and they got to fraudsters and then they use it to borrow. Or they kept their personal information carelessly. Fraudsters can use it to borrow. They can use it to apply for credit that you never did yourself. So that is why it is very, very important for you to monitor your credit report regularly. So I hope the program has been engaging, and please drop your questions and let's interact so that I'll be able to know if I'm really communicating or not. So points to take out from this event. Points to take out from this event is that a credit score plays a key role in lenders' decision to offer credit to you. Therefore, guide it jealously. Guide your credit report jealously. Guide your score jealously. Then factors considered in credit scoring include repayment history, type of loan, length of credit, and total amount owed. The best way to improve your credit score is to repay your loans on time. Repay your loans on time early. Set an auto pay on your account so that once it gets to that due date, the money automatically leaves and you won't be reported as a defaulter to the credit bureau. Other non-financial institutions like insurance companies, they now do check on you before they do any form of dealings with you. Yes, it's as good. We have a lot of non-financial institutions that render services in one way or the other, joining us every day. So before they do anything, they do a background check on you. Even utility companies, they do a credit check before establishing new lines of business with you. Some employers now, they do a background check to decide whether to give you that job, the promotion that you deserve or you ask for. Before they do a check before they grant it to you. So how will it look like that after you've gone for interviews and all that, you succeeded, they said you are the best, you did great, and at the verge of employing you, they did a background check on you and they saw that you're high risk, and the story is that, sorry, we can't give you that job. May that never be our story. May that never be our experience. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for listening and joining us in this event. This program is brought to you by FirstCentral Credit Bureau Marketing and Business Development Team. FirstCentral Credit Bureau is the first licensed credit bureau and only independent credit bureau without any affiliation with any financial institution as board of directors. This is a strategic decision by our board to ensure there is no conflict of interest in any of our reporting, in any of our dealings. And FirstCentral Credit Bureau, we have over 3,000 subscriber base, cutting across financial sectors and non-financial sector. By the day, we are growing every day, and we have over 850 million historic data on our database, and our prices are quite affordable. Okay, we'll be having a mega event coming up next month. A mega event, a mega webinar coming up next month, 13th of October, themed Rethinking the Concept of Lending. So I want to use this opportunity to invite every one of us. In fact, tell somebody to tell another person to join us on that show. So please do follow us up on all our social media handles so that you get calm down on that event. It promises to be great. I can tell you that. You know what? Some panelists that will be present there are MDs of reputable banks, microfinance bank and fintechs players in the country. In fact, we also have an associate of World Bank, IFC, joining us in that program. Oh, wow, now you know. So please try your best to ensure that you join us on that event. All right, so let me see. Is there questions for me? Let me try and address them. Is there questions? Let me check. Sorry, if you have dropped questions before, just help me resend this so that I can see that. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can get the questions. Please, if you have dropped a question before, thank you. I can see comment. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you. Sorry, okay, so I have been denied loan from several loan institutions, but I can't remember the loan institution which placed me on FirstCentral Credit. You see, it's part of what I'm talking about. The first solution is that since you have been denied loan, can you quickly order your report, or in fact, request for a free credit report? We'll provide your details, we'll respond to you immediately and give you your report. You can even send us a mail. If you send us a mail, we will tell you, you will provide your ID, some information will be asked that you provide us so that we verify you're actually the owner of the account. Then we'll give you the details of those that reported you so that you go and settle with them. Okay, so it's another question. Please, I want to know if my name is on blacklist. Like I said, please just order your report. You'll get to know whether you are blacklisted or black labeled or you're high risk, whichever one. Okay, it's quite simple as that. Then you say, please, I want to know if my name is on blacklist, the same thing. So everybody wants to know. So like I said, the first step, that was I said, the first step of improving your report or knowing what you look like before lenders or monitoring your credit details is by checking it, going to our portal, our website, www.FirstCentral Credit Bureau, order your report, and you get that information. Abroad, they don't joke with it. They all check. In fact, they handle their credit card as if, in fact, religiously, I don't even know how to describe it. So here, these things have been brought down to Nigeria, and it's helping us. When last did you hear a financial institution closed down? It's part of what CBN is doing, setting up credit, set up 3 credit bureau to ensure that all the credit information is being reported to us, and by the time any lending institution wants to give out loan, they first do a background check on the person to know who the person really is before they give out credit. In that way, that helps them to manage their risk effectively. Nobody lends in the dark nowadays. If you think, okay, I'm a smart person, because I've seen cases of people say, I borrowed from XYZ and that I'm not on this. Don't worry, with time, your information will get on the system. You'll be labeled a high risk. So please, I'm just saying this on a lighter note, let's manage our credit report carefully. All right, any other questions? I'm just seeing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so on that note, let's call it a day. So if there are questions coming in, just keep dropping the question. If there are questions you have, remember, drop it. We'll attend to it even after this program. All right, thank you. Bye.
Innovative, credible solution. This is who we are. Just the best in portfolio management. This is what we do. Risk management, securing your database. We're on a mission. Provide innovative, credible solution. We are just the best in portfolio management.
We are the first and only independent credit bureau and an emerging global brand that is committed to designing and deploying solutions that turns data into strategic tools for information and risk management. Our products includes consumers product and commercial product. Our services include report system integration, FirstCentral software services, data management services, batch reporting services, and so on. We deal with people, information, and technology. FirstCentral Credit Bureau, Nigeria's first and truly independent credit intelligence firm, enhancing possibilities.
Innovative, credible solution. This is who we are. We are just the best in portfolio management. This is what we do. Risk management, securing your database. We're on a mission. Provide innovative, credible solution. We are just the best in portfolio management.
We are the first and only independent credit bureau, an emerging global brand solutions that turn into strategic tools for information and risk management. Products includes consumers product and commercial product. Our services include report system integration, FirstCentral software services, data management services, batch reporting services, and so on. We deal with people, information, and technology. FirstCentral Credit Bureau, Nigeria's first and truly independent credit intelligence firm, enhancing possibilities.
FirstCentral Credit Bureau, this is what we do. Risk management, securing your database. We're on a mission to provide innovative, credible solution. This is who we are. Portfolio management. Risk management, securing your database. We're on a mission. Provide innovative, credible solution. We are just the best in portfolio management.
We are are the first and only independent credit bureau and an emerging global brand that is committed to designing and deploying solutions that turns data into strategic tools for information and risk management. Our products includes consumers product and commercial product. Our services include report system integration, FirstCentral software services, data management services, batch reporting services, and so on. We deal with people, information, and technology. FirstCentral Credit Bureau, Nigeria's first and truly independent credit intelligence firm, enhancing possibilities.